Hello, people. It's good to be with you again today. We are talking about the temptation of Jesus on the Mount of Temptation. The third one being, I'll give you all of this, says Satan, if you'll just bow down and worship me. And we've been contemplating the it is written that Jesus spoke to Satan. He says, it is written that you shall worship only the Lord your God and serve him only, exclusively. Now, this is what we've been looking at. We've been looking at what it means to worship God, but to serve him is another thing. Serving is actually a response to worship. We serve the things that we worship. But Jesus is very specific here in telling us that being a servant of God is a big deal, and we looked at that last week. But I want to say to you today that there are three temptations that befall every servant of God. Namely, they are to shine, to whine, and to recline. Those are the three temptations that come to every servant of God. Let's have a look at those over the course of the next 3 days. Let's look at what it means to be tempted to shine. Everybody wants to look good, do they not? And I guess in many ways that's not always a bad thing, but when it gets a grip of you, to shine can be a poor motive for being a servant. I want to outdo the others. I want to be seen to be better. I want the accolades. I want the praise. And when we do that, we're not doing it as unto God. We're now doing it as unto us. So to shine, have a look at Scripture and you will see a guy by the name of Absalom. He wanted to shine. His father was David. David was a great king. But Absalom looked at David and said, well, you know, you're a great king, but I'm going to be the next king. And I need to get some work done before I take this over. So he deliberately went against his father, such a tragic thing, and he tried to shine more than his dad. And when he shone, people ran to him. They loved him. They loved him so much. And they loved Absalom, and he would sit at the city gate and he would tell the people, have you got any problems or any challenges or anything? Just come and see me. My dad's too busy and he's got other stuff on his hands. I'll talk to you. And Absalom won the favor of the people, which led to a devastating situation in which Absalom, at the end of the day, was killed. It was a horrible, horrible scene. You see, he wanted to shine. Now, Max Lucado tells us how we should shine. In one of his books, he talks about the relationship between the sun and the moon. And the planets were all one day having a meeting, and they were praising the moon for how beautifully he was shining right now. And they said, hey, moon, you're doing a great job. You are shining so well. And the moon was absolutely adamant. He says, no. I have no light of my own. I have nothing with which to shine. All I have to do is reflect the glory of the sun. Now think about that for a moment as being a servant. Let me tell you, people, being a Christian, it's not about you. Oh, it's for you, but it's not about you. It's about him. It's about he who shines above all else, about Jesus, who's the light of the world. And our job is just to reflect that light as best as we possibly can. The moment we think that the light is ours, the moment that we think that we are better than the original light, is the moment that your light will go out and your candle will get dimmer and dimmer and dimmer. This is typical of what happens in Scripture. People who think themselves better than they should, people who think of themselves better than even anybody else would think of them, but they want to shine. And in the end, the light and the candle ultimately will go out. They're kind of like shooting stars. You know, when you see a shooting star in the sky and you look up and you say, wow, look how cool is that? And then all of a sudden you look back and it's gone. It's gone because that light went out very quickly. The story of Absalom is a tragic one, but it's a story we need to take note of. Our relationship with God as a servant is about him. It's not about us. It's about his kingdom. It's about our role that we play as servants and bond servants. Remember the ear and the door thing where we're committed for life to the serving of God. Our job is not to shine. Our job is just to reflect the glory of God himself. Think about that. Have a great day, people. Bye now.